questions on these guys? Isla would be happy to explain. Yeah.
Could you do number 12?
Isla, how do we do number 12?
I should not expand it then.
Sorry, what?
Or, so cotangent squared became cosine squared over sine squared. And then secant squared became 1 over sine squared. And then it became cosine squared minus 1 over sine squared, which equals 1.
Common denominator, then added. But we're not done. There's stuff that can happen here. Oliver, what is cosine squared minus 1?
It's just science.
Close.
Maybe some.
So subtracting sine squared on both sides, it disappears on the left and moves over to the right. Subtracting 1 on both sides, it disappears from the right and comes over here. Okay, so instead of this stuff, I'm gonna put in what it's equal to. So negative sine squared x over positive sine squared x comes out to 1. This is not how I would have done this at all, but it's completely valid.
Could you
Okay.
also just do like
This.
version?
So, Eliza has what I would do. So she says, well, I know this identity is given to us. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna move things around in this identity to make it look like that stuff. Is the cotangent squared here positive or negative?
Positive.
Is the cotangent squared in this identity positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, so it's where I want it to be. Do I want the 1 in it? No, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna subtract 1. But I want the cosecant squared on the other side, so I'm gonna subtract that on both sides. Eliza, you showed it nicer, but, so just taking the green thing and subtracting this guy to the other side and the other guy to this side, cotangent squared minus cosecant squared, which is exactly what this is, up equals -1. So you can use turn everything into sine and cosine and mush things around, or maybe just use the original identity like Eliza did and move things around from there. Other questions from any of these guys? Okay. Try these 3.
Wait, can you go back?
Yep. Are you done with those 3? Okay. You do realize that means there's like 4 groups that have, like, you don't know what else. William, which one are you working on? identity, sine squared plus cosine squared. It's written on the front. So the entire numerator that you had there now becomes 1.
Yeah.
So where's the problem you were working on? It said,
Sine squared, yeah.
okay,
Plus cosine squared.
over,
Over cosine squared.
so I'm gonna take all of this stuff out.
So that would equal to,
The top is equal to 1.
and the bottom would just stay cosine squared.
And then, that's not where we're gonna leave it. What is 1 over cosine?
It's second squared. So one would just be raised.
So this is the end
So
answer.
that's the hard.
Yep. So Luca, can you do 17 for us? Sine squared plus cosine squared. Careful, the way you have this written, it's sine of x squared. We want this to be now sine.
So, but doesn't one just
Well, the parentheses stuff.
Yeah.
Sine times sine of one.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
Sine plus cosine squared equals 1.
Actually, can you wait for Ivan to come back? Then if you're done, Jay, can you do number 16 for us? Emery, Valentina, Senna, number 18?
Oh, I pointed that.
Isla, did you get anything done?
Can I just write the answer down?
Well, show something.
Well, yeah, like if you take 1 minus. Yeah, you let's see what.
Ah, minimalists.
Yeah, I did, oh, I did this before. I did like before in my.
Thank you for showing it like larger than life and with steps. Okay, guys.
It's a little too far, like the walk. Listen, I went to dance when I was in first grade.
So, first step,
I know, I think-
Manche saw 1 minus sine squared. If I move things around in that diagram identity, that's sine squared. And then he said this one and that one reduce cosine over sine. And then he got cotangent. Yay. And Luca, the minimalist, factored out sine x and said, inside here, sine squared plus cosine squared. This is him showing work. That sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. It'd be nicer, just so that I can see you actually are doing some work. Cause all that big messy stuff, like if you showed this to a 7th grader, they'd be like, it's math, where are all the numbers? Like, what the heck, man? But this stuff squishes together to become 1, and sine times 1 is just sine. And ultimately minimal. I was like, cosine squared plus sine squared. You're dead to me, you have become 1. And then she did rewrite and said cotangent, keep the angles. Because again, eventually we're gonna get to doing stuff that's got 2 angles in it, so you get in the habit of keeping their names. But she says, this is an identity, it's written on the front page. Cotangent squared plus 1 is cosecant squared. Okay.
so.
Okay. Have them theirs. Go ahead.
I was looking at all. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just the better. This is like,
okay.
so this is instead of 3 pi over 3.
Instead of 3 pi over 2, it should be the negative pi over 2 because we had you guys draw like, yeah. Well, you can do the way we had you show in class, which was, I mean, that's about all the work I need, is for you to be like, it's gotta be inside this semicircle, straight down is that negative pi over 2. I don't need a lot of stuff, I just need something. Bella, question on any of these? No? Mohammed? Which ones bother you? 21? What do you think our strategy is gonna be? Are we going to turn everything into sine and cosine? Are we gonna factor something out, or are we gonna distribute something?
Yeah.
Like, it already is all multiplied things, so I think the distributing is already done. To me, I think I'm gonna turn everything into sine and cosine. Secant is 1 over,
Sin x.
secant is 1 over cosine. And cosecant is 1 over,
Sin x.
1 over sine. So one of the signs up top cancels with one of the signs on the bottom. And then now, sine over cosine becomes
Tangent.
tangent. Any question on any of them?
Oh,
Sorry. Bella? 19. This 19? Because there's another 19 that's a stinker, but we'll do this one. Okay. First times first. Outside times outside. Inside times inside. Last times last. Negative blah, 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 positive exact blah, 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 they go away. All right. And now we gotta remember the trick that Eliza did. She said, I know this identity. And then subtracting cosecant squared and subtracting 1. So I'm gonna get rid of that stuff and put in the other side.
Oh,
Ivan, how do we do 24?
I haven't gotten 24 yet.
Well, what's the strategy? What do you think? Are we gonna turn everything into sine and cosine? Are we gonna distribute everything out? Or are we gonna factor? Angel's suggesting
Both of these.
distribute.
Kind of distribute.
Okay, how do I do that?
Cosecant squared, negative cosecant, positive cosecant, those both cancel out.
And anything else, or is it done? So, first times first, first times last. Inside times first, and I need to do inside times last. So, but losing the minus one does a lot of damage.
So it's just cotangent squared.
Okay. Cosecant squared minus one, that cosecant squared minus one, as you're looking at that identity, is just cotangent squared, yes. And doing this distributing stuff, I always draw the arrows on it. First one, put the first one to the first one to the second. Okay, that one's been distributed to everybody. And arrows to the second one to everybody to make sure all things were distributed correctly. I have 2 children. If you give this child some candy, you Pam all better give this child the same candy, same colors, or they will throw fits writhing on the floor. They're 20 and 17 now, they still throw fits. Same candy, same colored wrappers. They're throwing fits. It's not quite time to go yet because the Wellness Wednesday was a little bit longer. You have like tomorrow. I have 18 million alarms set on my phone because the entire month of March, we have no bells. So I set them all, even for Wellness Wednesday, and they changed it for today. Just because. But let's see. Oh, didn't make it any bigger. But it says lunch starts at 11:19, so you have 5 minutes to suffer. Just you, Macho. Just you.